What certifications have you completed or would you recommend?
When did you get the sense that you will be successful in this?
If you were in our position and restarting, getting started in Google Ads, would you focus on Google Ads or would you focus on Meta Ads? And or does it depend kind of on what you're selling?
So there's a couple of good things about Meta Ads. What is up, guys? Devon from Neptune Design here, and I am so grateful to bring you this video today. It's something that I never thought that I would do in my lifetime, but yeah, I have been invited to basically do a virtual lecture at the Vienna University of Economics and Business and on Google Ads. And I've been doing this for 7 years. I've taught business owners all around the world, but I've kind of figured out the stuff for myself. And it's very weird to actually be sitting in front of university students, well, at least virtually, and talking to them about Google Ads. So I hope you enjoy this video. I am going to put this out there, and I would like to say a special thank you to Pamela Wagner for organizing all of this, and a special thank you for the students for letting me share this with you. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get into the video.
I think one thing I want to get started with is tell us a bit more about how you got into Google Ads. How did you get started?
Oh, well, hello, Pam. Hi, students. Hope you're all doing well today. Really, I got started with Google Ads. Funny story was I was broke. My business wasn't generating any leads or any clients, and I was trying to figure out why that was. I was very good at selling. I had a good product, but somehow I could never ever just get the client in front of me so I could close the deal. So Google Ads, I had to learn kind of out of desperation because I really didn't know what else to do.
It sounds about a moment that we'll all reach at one point, either in our job or with a business. So that's a good way out. Now, what do you like now about your job?
Oh man, running Google Ads right now is my favorite thing because I think of marketing like making people fall in love. That's what I think marketing is like. It's like falling in love. You want your customers to fall in love with the brands and the products that they're buying. And when you think about marketing and you think about your job as a marketer, all you're doing is you're matchmaking. You're finding the product, and then you're finding the ideal person to fall in love with that product or that service or that brand. And when you think about it that way, it becomes pretty easy because you're not so caught up in metrics and engagement and analytics. You're just going to what is the heart of the person who wants to buy this product, and how can I get them to kind of fall in love with it? That's basically it.
Awesome. So somebody already asked me this question in class, and I've already responded to it, but now I want to hear your response to it. If somebody wanted to get started with becoming a freelancer and making money by doing ads for other people, what would be your advice to them?
Well, nobody's really going to hire you unless you have some sort of experience. So the question comes down to experience. Where do you get experience from? Now, there's two roads that you can go down. Number one is you can volunteer at an agency, or you can volunteer to work for someone who's already running ads, and you can run them just free of charge and they can teach you everything they know. Or what you can do is go the more difficult route, which is actually what I recommend, is start running your own ads for your own products and services. Some of you might be saying, Devon, we have no products and services. Well, then you can just go and find some affiliate products and promote those, because trust me on this, once you start running Google Ads and once you start spending real money, oh boy, you are really going to take it seriously and you are really going to start learning super fast. It'll accelerate your learning by 10x just by running ads and seeing that money go down every single time that you run an ad campaign.
Awesome. So before we hop into your YouTube channel and any Google Ads related questions, I just want to give people a chance to ask any questions about the professional journey so far. Anybody's any questions there? Tanya, tell us.
What certifications have you completed or would you recommend to improve basically our knowledge and experience with Google Ads?
That is a very good question. I'm a Google certified digital marketer. I've got the little certificate, but funny thing is, in the market that we're in right now, almost every single person has that certificate. So every single person that you're going to be competing with has the exact same certificate. So it doesn't give you an edge. What you want to do is you want to still run a couple of campaigns. And I'm talking about even if you blow $5 a day, US dollars, or just $100, and you just have some sort of results to show for yourself that you actually know how to run ads, that's going to help you so much better than just a Google Ad certification. And you can go get all of them. You can get your search certification, your display certification. You're more than welcome to do that. But always do remember that if I'm a client and I have two choices, and the one person sitting in front of me has got no qualifications, but they have ran Google Ads, and you're sitting in front of me, you've got all the right qualifications, but you've never run Google Ads, I'm probably going to spend my money on the person who's actually spent some money on Google Ads before. I hope that answers your question. Also, if you guys want to ask about money, salary, that sort of stuff, go crazy. Seriously, ask what you want to ask. Don't hold back.
Yes, that accounts for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you know that? Now let's hop to YouTube. No. You've had over 250,000 views, which is amazing.
Yeah.
How did it feel to reach that milestone? I think becoming a YouTube partner as well, right?
Yep. YouTube partner program as well.
Tell us more about all of that.
Oh man, YouTube was so wild. You know, when I started off doing YouTube and I looked at my videos, I could only see everything I was doing wrong. I had this little Nokia smartphone that I was using as a camera, and it would shake back and forth, so it would look like I was doing this in the video the whole time, which was weird. Kind of like a trippy effect. My sound was bad. My presentation on camera was bad. And because I'm not a American finance guy, and I'm not saying, hey, it's Bob, how would you like to make your next $10,000 in 3 weeks with this easy strategy? I didn't sound anything like that. And I thought that people would not be attracted to that type of content. But I made it anyway. I just put it out there. I said, this is what I've learned about Google Ads so far. These are a couple of strategies, and every single time I learned how to do something in Google Ads, I would just post a video about it, And to my surprise, nobody cared about the sound. Nobody cared about how I sounded. Nobody cared about my presentation on camera. Everybody was just there for the knowledge. And because the knowledge was good, people just on coming back and back and back. And they just enjoyed more and more of my content. And couple of years later, I looked up and we were at 250,000 views, and I was like, wow. I was scared like that I wouldn't even get 200 views, but I ended up with 250,000 views, and we'll probably do 500,000 views next year just based on the content that I've got in store. So I'm very happy and very excited.
Awesome. By the way, y'all have these amazing like emojis that of course you can use as well here. Now, in your videos, and I think one of the main reasons why I like your channel so much is because it's all practical stuff. What would you tell somebody who's just getting started off with Google Ads? Like who's about to run their first campaign?
Oh man. My first thing that I would tell them is they need to have the right expectations when going into campaigns and running certain campaign types. Now, I've prepared a slide for you guys. Pam, if I can show it. And I think this will visually represent what I'm trying to say far better than I can put it into words. So let's see if I can go ahead and just share my screen. Share screen. There we go. Let's do this. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Just give me a yes if you can. Thank you very much, Pamela. All right, cool. So I want you to imagine Google Ads like a giant soccer pitch or a giant football pitch. We're in Europe, so I can say football pitch. All right. And our job with Google Ads and running Google Ads is to, let me just get my slide here, is to score a goal. All of us want to score a goal, and scoring a goal could be a lead. It could be a sale for your client or a sale for yourself. Now, here's the thing. You're not going to score many goals from this position over here. In fact, that's a terrible position to try and score a goal from, right? It's very long and the goal is kind of over there, so you're going to struggle to score from there. So what you need to do and what you need to understand when you're going into Google Ads is that every single type of Google ad campaign that you run has got a different conversion rate. So I'll give you an example. When it comes to display ads, they've got an almost horrible conversion rate of 0.55%. So it's kind of like shooting from the middle of the pitch. It might go in, but chances are more often than not, it's not going to go in. You're not going to get the lead. You're not going to get the conversion. Now, YouTube ads are slightly better. You're slightly closer to the goal. You might even get some more leads. You might even get some more sales. But search ads are really where it's at, because search ads have the highest conversion rate by far. So your question probably is, Devon, so are you saying that if I want to run Google ads and I'm starting out, I should only use search ads? Like, why should I use display ads or YouTube ads? No, that's not how this works. All of these things combined, right? Every single thing that you use, every single campaign combined are going to allow you to get more and more opportunities, to get more leads, more sales, more clients for the business. But you have to know how to use all of these things together. There's no secret sauce. There's no one campaign that's going to do it for you. You need to use a fourfold or fivefold approach. That's all I wanted to say. I hope that answers the question.
That was a brilliant storytelling example, and one of the best that I've seen in a long time. So thank you for sharing that and preparing that for us. Now, one thing that you're really good at is with Google Ads and like a smaller budget. What would you say people in like a shoestring budget would need to consider, and what is a shoestring budget in terms of dollar amount per day, a euro or rand amount per day?
That is an actual good question as well, Pamela. Now, when you're starting off, most of us are going to start off with like $5 per day budget, $10 per day budget, and you can convert that directly into euros. It's €5 per day. And I've had some students, some coaching clients that with a €5 per day budget, they basically booked out their whole calendar. Now, how did we do this? It really doesn't matter what your budget is. What you want to focus on is three things. You want to focus on keywords that get searched very often. So if you don't have search volume, if your keywords don't get searched that often, you might find yourself being in trouble, because search ads, as we just saw from the slides, they're the highest converting type of ad. The second thing you want to do is make sure that your keywords are actually affordable. Now, I'm sure Pam will show you how to do this with Google Keyword Planner, but you need to go after the keywords that you can actually afford, right? So if we have a $100 per day budget and one click wastes the entire $100, it's not really going to help us, because we know it takes on average 100 clicks to get only 4 leads or 4 sales, right? So we need to make sure that our keywords are affordable. Once that's done, those are the basics. You want to go for high intent keywords. So what do I mean by high intent? I mean the person behind the search needs to know what they're looking for. I'll give you an example of this. If you have a keyword of running shoes, right? Everybody close your eyes right now and imagine running shoes. Okay? You got the picture in your head, right? But now, running shoes could mean different things to different people. Are we talking about football running shoes? Are we talking about gym running shoes? Are we talking about treadmill running shoes? Are we talking about marathon running shoes, right? So keep your eyes closed, and now I want you to imagine marathon running shoes. So you got that picture, right? Keep your eyes closed one more time. Marathon running shoes for women or people who identify as women. What would those look like? Okay, now open your eyes. Do you see how when I said marathon running shoes for women, the picture became sort of more clear in your mind? But when you just said running shoes, they could mean so many different variables. Keywords are exactly the same way. If you are very specific about the types of keywords you use, you will get those specific, locked in, dialed in customers that know what they want. If you're very vague with the keywords that you use, for example, dog food, running shoes, or just shoes, you're going to get a lot of clicks on your ads, but nothing's going to happen because you weren't specific enough. So always try, when you're using a keyword, try and focus on the keywords with high intent behind them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we talk about keywords with high intent, right? Now we just discussed display campaigns a little bit and how they are complementary to search campaigns, that we can use keywords there as well. What would be examples when you would use keywords in a display campaign as targeting?
That's great. So basically, let's say, for example, a small company comes to you and they say, hey, I've got an AI conference that I want to promote. And it's going to be in Cape Town, and it's happening in 2 weeks, and we've got a tiny budget, right? We've only got 15 euros to spend per day. Now, you can't exactly use a search term or a search keyword because nobody's searching for the conference because they don't know about the conference. And this is where display ads are going to be super cool, because what you can do is you can target people who are searching for just conferences in general, and you can start showing them display ads. And that's going to go, and then they're going to go, oh, hey, I just saw a banner ad for a cool conference. It looks like it's about AI or something in Cape Town. I think I should go. Maybe I should click on that ad. So what you're doing with a display ad is, I like to think of it as a giant digital pamphlet drop, but you get to choose who those pamphlets drop onto. So using the keywords, you can build a custom segment campaign and then put in all of those things like AI conference, building the future with AI. And then you know that you've got a highly targeted base of customers, and then you can start showing them display ads.
Awesome. I love how you're taking us into the visualization of all of these aspects. Now, what's your favorite client story for a display campaign?
Wow. Okay, cool. Let me think. All right. So I had this one client. Okay, let me tell you the full story. Okay. So when I started off, I had no experience, I had no money, and somehow I had to convince people to give me their money so I could run Google Ads for them. So if I went to their doors and I said, hey, Mr. So-and-so, could you let me run Google Ads for your business? They would say, hey, I want your resume and I want to know where you've worked before. And I didn't have time for all of that. So what I did was I went onto social media and I designed a poster that said, I will get 50 leads for your business with Google Ads or your money back, right? And now nobody cared that I had no experience. Nobody cared that I've never done this for Google Ads before. All the business owners know that is they could pay me. And if Devon doesn't come up with the goods, if he doesn't supply those leads, I'll just get my money back from Devon, right? So that was the good news. Business owners trusted me with their money and I could use their money to spend them on ads. The bad news was I had to give the money back if it didn't work out. So I kind of had to figure out how I'm going to make this work. So I had one electrician. He came up to me and he said, Devon, I want leads, but I want those leads for electrical clients, people who want to do wiring for their restaurants and their warehouses, but I want only clients from the Vienna waterfront in Cape Town. And if anybody's been, well, you haven't been to the Vienna waterfront in Cape Town. The problem with the Vienna waterfront in Cape Town is it's only 2 streets. That's it. It means I was not going to get any search volume. It's not like a city that I can target. It's literally just 2 streets of people. And that's when I had to get creative. So what happened was I started targeting display ads over that whole area of the Vienna waterfront. And I specifically built an audience, a custom display audience of restaurant owners, business owners, and people that I knew would need electrical and electrical wiring services. And it turns out that within 2 weeks, I had got my customer, a client, right on the docks at the Vienna waterfront, and it was a pretty huge restaurant. And he did a massive quote, and they accepted the quote. And I did all of this using only display marketing. Well, I complemented it with search ads, but the search ads weren't doing anything really. So that's my display ad success story. And he was so happy that he got his client, and I was so happy that I didn't have to give him his money back. So it was a win-win for all of us.
Awesome. Awesome. That's wonderful. That's a really great story, and also very inspiring, I hope, for everybody. Now, I want to give you all the opportunity to ask some questions, because overall this is your learning experience. Andrew, you were quick. All right, let's go.
I had one question. I hope it's not too personal or anything, but since you said when you started doing this, you didn't have any practical experience and you just basically taught it yourself, right? When did you get the sense that you will be successful in this, that you won't be needing to give the money back to people? Where did you get the self-confidence at that point?
To be honest with you, Andre, I honestly think that your self-confidence develops as you're taking risks, as you're speaking to clients. I am not saying go out there and promise people the world and promise them things that you can't deliver. That's not good enough. But what I am saying is there are certain things that you could probably promise and you could probably get away with. So for example, if you promise somebody 10 leads a month, if they spend 2,000 euros, it's reasonable to say that, yeah, that's a promise that I can deliver on. So when I was making this product up, I already knew that I ran ads before. I already knew that I gotten leads for myself, but I knew that it's only going to take experience and working with more and more people's budgets and working with different businesses before I am super confident. But I had to keep on taking those risks in order to get that confidence. It's not like the confidence came first and then I did it. While doing it, I was scared to death. But afterwards, I was like, hey, I could actually do this. This is actually easy. I could do this for a few more customers. So that's how it happened for me.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. Anthony.
Hi, Devon. Thanks for doing this. I have a couple questions. So you run an agency and you also teach people how to run Google Ads. Is that correct?
So I used to run an agency, but I found myself getting very bored with the reporting. For example, I don't want to email you and tell you you just got 500 clicks on your ads and you got that's just, I get bored so easily, people. It's not even funny. As soon as I do something boring, I start sucking at it. I start dragging my feet. So what I decided to do was I want to empower people. I want to teach people. I want to show them how to run their own ads. And I want them to come back and say, hey, Devon, you taught me this and this and this. It worked. And that's what I decided to specialize in. So I started off with the agency. It kind of wasn't my vibe. And then I kind of pivoted to doing what I'm doing now.
And by the way, before you ask the next question, also in my history, we've sent reports to less than 10 clients in the past 9 years. So reports is not something that Devon or me believe in.
Okay, that's good to know. Joe, one more question about like the agency. How would you design a monthly package and like the pricing I'm specifically interested in? And would you include ad spends in that package or would you exclude it?
Okay, so here's the thing about pricing that everyone gets wrong. If you charge a price that's quote unquote normal and acceptable by society, people are going to look at you and they're going to say, this guy is average, he charges average, and he's probably going to get me average results. What you want to do is you actually want to charge above the rest. So even if you feel like you're not there yet, you should still charge above the rest. Now, I can't give you figures because I don't know what European firms charge, but I know that most firms are around the $5,000 per month mark. That's about average. Now, the inexperienced people, they go way low. They'll say like, I'll run your ads and I'll do it for like 1,000 euros a month, or I'll do it for 500 euros a month. Never including ad spend. Don't even try and include ad spend. Don't go down that route. Always let your customers have a separate budget and let them spend on ads separately. But if you go low, what you're going to find is a lot of customers are going to waste your time, and a lot of customers are going to think that you actually work for them. The higher you charge, the more high quality customers you're going to get, and the more customers you get that won't waste your time. They'll actually trust you because you're not going to pay 7,000, 10,000, 20,000 euros to somebody that you don't trust. So my advice for you would be go high with your pricing always.
Okay. Yeah, that's great advice. Just the last one here. If you were in our position and restarting, just getting started in Google Ads, would you focus on Google Ads or would you focus on Meta Ads? And like, or does it depend kind of on what you're selling?
So there's a couple of good things about Meta Ads. A lot of people spend a lot of time on Facebook. A lot of people are constantly engaging with Facebook. But the one thing you have to remember is whenever somebody goes to Google, it's because they have a problem they're trying to solve. Nobody's out there Googling for wedding photos of their cousin. It just doesn't happen. Nobody goes on there just to look at photos of cute little babies and watch little videos. Everyone who goes to the Google search page, right? They've got the intent of, man, I need a new house, of man, I need to find a job, or man, I need to do something. And that gives you a serious advantage when using Google Ads. But even with all of that being said, if you don't have the marketing fundamentals down, if you don't understand how to build a proper landing page, how to find your customer's pain point, how to write ad copy properly, you're going to fail on both. So what I suggest is make it easy for yourself. Start learning the fundamentals first. There's actually a couple of really good books I can recommend on that. And then what you want to do is once you got the fundamentals down, you can apply them to TikTok ads, they'll work. You can apply them to Meta ads, they'll work. You can apply them to Google ads, they'll work. You can even apply them, as Pam is blowing her nose, you can even apply them to newspaper marketing ads and they will work. They'll work perfectly. So fundamentals are what you need to focus on. Now, I know a lot of these guys on YouTube, they'll come out and they'll say, hey, I'm going to show you how to make $10,000 with Meta ads. Those guys just come and go. I've been watching them come and go for the past 4 years now. There's always a new hot platform that's going to get you incredible results. And it's amazing because no one else is using it. But then when everybody else starts using it, then you start realizing, oh my gosh, this thing is actually not profitable for anyone anymore. So don't get caught up in that hype.
That's great. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Anthony. Great questions, by the way. Awesome questions.
Alex.
Yeah. So can you hear me first?
Yeah, I can hear you, Alex.
Okay. Yeah. So you said that it's a good idea to charge prices, higher prices, and I totally agree because like if you start too low, it's really tough to raise prices usually. So if startups start too low, it's tough. But what would you do to make companies trust you and to differentiate yourself from all those scammers that just say, yeah, I'm the best one. I will generate you X amount of leads and just charge like huge sums of money to just disappear after like 3 months.
That is a great question. I want to ask you a question back. Who are the 3 guys that you like to follow on YouTube? Just give me 3 YouTubers you like to follow or the 3 content creators that you like to follow.
Well,
even if it's gaming channels, like can be anyone, seriously.
Okay, like I think that everybody follows Mr. Beast, but I don't usually very often watch him, but I can just check on my YouTube which I follow. So I don't watch gaming that often. So the Onion News is to check like a American satire network. And like a fitness YouTuber, an Austrian, he's called Sascha Huber.
Okay, let's take Sascha.
Like
What's
that.
his name? Sascha Huber.
Yeah.
Huber.
Yeah.
H.
Huber. All right, cool.
No,
So let's talk about Sascha for a moment. What are Sascha's videos about, and why are you watching them? Like, what does he do in the video?
Well, he is quite entertaining because he does fitness, but not normal fitness only. Also some stuff like challenges. So he was in the army and did like 1 day march or stuff like that. Or even though he does fitness and is pretty pumped, he ran like 2 marathons a day or something like that.
Fantastic, fantastic. And would you say when you're watching his videos, do they come across as real, as authentic, and as I can trust this guy?
Yes, and that's what makes him slightly different, because he does speak German, which is easier for many German speakers.
Yeah.
So he has a limited reach, but he does have a reach there, so he can differentiate himself, and he appears trustworthy. But still, I've never bought stuff with his creator codes because I don't just buy any proteins or something like that.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm not asking you to buy anything. So the first thing I want to tell you is you cannot manipulate or make any company hire you or do anything with you, right? They basically have to see you out there, see what you do, like you see Sasha, and know that you are good at what you do. So simple experiment that you can do is you can say, it's going to be my first YouTube ad. What I'm going to do is I am going to document the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a YouTube ad for 30 days, and I'm going to make one video about day 1, I worked on audiences. Day 2, I worked on my ad creatives. Day 3, I worked on this. And what you can do with those videos is you can upload them. Now, 9 out of 10 people are just going to look at this video and go, it's probably just some guy running a YouTube video. But then you're going to find somebody who's going to go, wow, this guy is actually ahead of me because he's doing this, he knows about this, and he knows about custom audiences. Maybe I should hire Alexander because he already knows about YouTube ads far more than I do. And yeah, we don't have proof that Alexander really knows more about YouTube ads than you do, but what you do know is you can actually see that Alexander is putting in the work and he's actually running these ads. The same thing like with fitness YouTubers, the same thing like beauty YouTubers putting on their makeup. What makes us assume that human beings are good at something is seeing them out there and seeing that they're confident enough to speak about it in the public space. And that's how you're going to differentiate yourself from your competition. So for example, if I'm versing another person for a Google Ads consultant position, my answer is simple. They'll say, Devon, why are you charging me so much more than this guy? And I'll say, because I have 139 videos online already where you can go and see my skills. You can see my skills, you can see my results, and you can make your mind up for yourself if I'm worth the money or not. And then they're going to go to the other guy and he's going to say, oh, you'll just have to take my word for it. And guess who they're going to hire?
Right. So probably you just like the main thing was that you build up small and then go bigger, because from personal experience, so my dad runs a company with like 5,500 employees, but he's really conservative doing that. And even I can't convince him to do anything modern. And it's like a really conservative industry as well. So like that was the main question. So there's a lot of old guys with a lot of money to spend, which just won't do it. But like they would never, or like my dad would never trust somebody who's like online only. But
Yeah.
how would you go in like getting a bit bigger? So I get building up small, but how would you like catch big fish?
What I would do is don't look at your dad like he's every business owner out there. There are plenty of business owners that are even your age, even younger than you, and they are all in on digital. When I sit down with the client, the first thing I tell the client is, number one, I'm not trying to sell you anything. And number two, if I'm not the right person for you, I'm going to tell you that in 5 minutes. So what that's going to do is it's going to repel the people who feel like you're not for them, which is perfectly fine. But it's also going to attract those big spenders and big fish that say, you know what, I trust Devon because he's just being honest. He's just telling me exactly what he feels. So don't feel like you have to convince anybody to do anything. Your father might think it's the wrong way to go, but you could start your own business and you could have a lot of success with Google Ads. And through that success, you're going to convince him. He's going to go, you know what, my son's running these things and he loves them. They're making him money every single month. Maybe we should just dedicate 0.0001% of our marketing budget towards that. And that's how you win him over. Apply it to yourself first.
Okay, all right then. Thanks for your answer.
My pleasure.
If I may give you 2 pointers here. First of all, there's 8 billion people in the world. You don't need everybody to be your client. You just need the right ones, right? And the second one is I give you a very personal example from my own family. which is not necessarily Google Ads related, but it shows you the power of influence you have by taking action. When I went to Nigeria the first time at the age of 18, one of my aunts asked me, couldn't you look for an intelligent country? Okay. I responded to it with love and kindness because I knew where she was coming from. Fast forward a year later, I was about to go to Rwanda. And you know what she said then to me? She was like, you know what? I see you going to all these places that I didn't know about. And now I know how they really are. And it's so beautiful to see that. Thank you.
Same person. Wow.
Same person a year later. So people often just need to see that something is possible because there's no word that would convince them otherwise.
I agree 100%.
Awesome. Other questions?
Keep them coming, people. I'm like, seriously, use this time.
Yeah, and while you're not asking questions, I've put the reflection link in the commentary box so that we can end on time in about 7 minutes and you all don't have to go over time. I'll give you space for the group work tomorrow as well. You don't need to worry about rushing it. You'll still have plenty time to do everything that's needed there. Yeah. Anthony.
Hi, Dan. I was just gonna say, what's been more effective for you to get leads? Has it been your organic content on YouTube or actually running Google Ads for your own business?
That's actually a good question. So when they come off Google Ads, the leads are more cold. In other words, they don't know you. You need to win them over a lot more. So the leads from Google Ads need to see a little bit more proof. You have to really show them a lot of social proof. You really need to show them that you know what you're doing. And sometimes they might even ask for case studies like, can you give me an example of an e-commerce store that you've worked with before or an e-commerce business owner that you've trained with before that's gone on to be massively successful? And I've got those case studies ready for them. Now, when it comes to people off organic and people off YouTube, they just love you, man. They seriously, when you start a call with them, they're like, Devon, I've been following you for 2 years. I know all of your videos off by heart. I'm ready. Just please take my money. Just take my money. Let's start working together. So it's a completely different vibe. But what all good marketers need to do is you need to understand how both work, and you need to understand which types of businesses can really do well with organic and get traction quickly, and which types of businesses really do better with ads. Usually 90% of the businesses work better with ads because if you're an accountant, you're probably not going to go start a whole YouTube channel on accounting. It's probably not your thing. So usually you'd have to run ads for clients anyway. But when it comes to your own personal brand and your own personal business, do both.
That's great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any other questions? Well, y'all did very well today. Paul, all right.
Yes, Paul.
Go for it.
Love it, love it, love it.
I was just wondering, what are your goals for the future?
Easy one.
My specific, that's so easy. That's so easy. All right. So kind of world domination. What I want is I want to teach Google Ads to a business owner in every single country on earth. Currently, we've got Australia, we've got Asia, I'm talking about continents here. We've got Europe, we've got Africa, and we've got USA. I haven't had a student in South America yet, and probably I won't get anyone in Antarctica unless the penguins start running Google Ads. But what I basically want to do is in the next 5 years, I want to teach Google Ads to a person in every single country. And I want to do that with my content, and I want to do that with my paid courses as well.
Awesome. Great questions. Wonderful. Well, thank you, everybody. I can only encourage you to reach out to Devon on LinkedIn, to follow his YouTube. In some of the videos, you may or may not find conversations with us two. And I hope you'll enjoy them as well. Some of them are still in work in progress, so they'll be published soon. And thank you so much for being so well prepared with your questions today, for being so engaging, despite the fact this was very online. Yes. Thank you also, Devon, for taking the time, for the patience with me today and my delays, and happens to the best people. Nobody's perfect. So, thank you again, Devon, for taking the time. Reach out to him, and we'll see if we can make something like this happen again. But I think we both can say equally that no question is too personal. If it would be, we would tell you. So we very much want to encourage you to reach out with your questions, right? And that's a piece of advice I missed as a student. I wish somebody told me that more, right? Now, y'all hopefully have filled out the reflection. If not yet, then just fill it out. Same as on first day. And I'll hopefully see you tomorrow in class. Let's do the following. If you don't hear anything from me until 9 a.m., that means we'll have the in-class session. Okay? Review everything for the exam. I know it's easy to say don't be nervous. I've been in your shoes, but trust me when I say you'll be able to do just well with all the slides that you have, all the knowledge that you've gathered, all the practice that you have by now. And other than that, everybody, can you just give Devon a round of virtual applause? Yay! Oh, that works. Oh, I'm so proud of y'all.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, guys.
Awesome. Christina?
Oh, sorry, it was just a misclick.
Oh, okay. No problem. Any other questions that I missed? No, everybody fine. Okay. Again, I'm proud of y'all. You did well for these 3 hours of online class. Thank you for being so attentive also during Devon's session, and we'll see each other tomorrow.
Hey there, my friend. Thank you so much for making it to the end. And I just want to tell you about some of our learning resources that you can find in the link in the description below. We've got some study materials, we've got some ad settings of mine that you can copy, and we've got some really cool workshops, and it's all waiting for you in the links in the description below. Now, lastly, I want to say this. Everybody starts from zero. Everybody is trying to figure out this whole Google Ads thing. And I'm sure you can see that by the questions the students were asking and by the responses that me and Pam were giving them, even us being Google Ads experts, we also had to start from zero. So there's absolutely no shame in it, and don't feel like you don't have permission to fail. We have failed plenty times. Trust me, I'm even failing right now in my business, but that's how you learn. That's how you discover new things. So don't be shy. Check out those links in the description. And yeah, I hope you enjoy what we have over there for you. Last but not least, thank you so much for watching. Share this with a friend if you enjoyed it. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel because I'm going to drop a lot more of these types of videos in the coming weeks. And if you want a 52-week plan for learning Google Ads, then I recommend that you click on this video over here, and I will see you next time. Peace.